Hello. So yeah, Doctor Who review time again. I last week, well, basically for the two-part last week, I did a pre-recorded and then a live, and I've had better numbers on the pre-recorded. Nobody sort of tuned in for the live, and I felt kind of awkward doing it. I've done, like, last time I did live stuff, more people watching. I don't know if it's because doing it on the phone versus doing it on the laptop, which obviously I had to do it on the laptop because of YouTube changing their rules. Basically, I don't have enough subscribers to use the app to stream, which is a bit of a bummer, really, because you probably get more people streaming on the app, and then that could actually ultimately help the numbers and the algorithm. People use, although then it could be a server thing. I don't know. It's YouTube. It's strange and mysterious. Excuse me. So this week's episode, which I am doing pre-recorded, I'll upload it straight away, is Orphan 55, which I enjoyed it. I think it was in last season when I was doing this. It's like I'm always giving positive reviews, but the first episodes are always a little, there was a couple last season that I wasn't entirely enthusiastic about, but So this one, I did like it. Written by Ed Hime, Hime, and I don't know what he's done previously, probably lots, but I can't think offhand because I don't tend to follow the writers, to be honest, unless it's like someone who does sort of like Stephen Moffat or even Chibnall's episodes, or Russell T Davies, Mark Gatiss, people like that, or to use a different show as an example, with the X-Files. You always knew Darren Morgan episode. You always knew, I forgot his name though, but the guy who went on to do Breaking Bad. His episodes were always one of my amongst my favorite episodes. So you learn the trends with like the writers and that, and the ones you sort of end up liking more than others. But generally speaking, I don't tend to pay attention to them unless they're, the work keeps bringing their attention to me. So, but that's beside the point. This episode, yes, I enjoyed it. We open with a tentacle, basically. One of those sort of misadventures we catch the end of, which is basically, sorry, Kang, didn't realise it was their mating season. Whatever she went to, excuse me, whatever she went to show them was, a bit dangerous. I think Gaz describes them later on as space squids, so that's fun. Not sponsored. Here you go. And then Graham comes in and said, "Oh, I've been collecting all these vouchers. I've been getting them from the vending machine, the coffee machine downstairs. Anyway, I've got 6 of them now." So you see him playing with these like little plastic voucher thingies, and I was like, "Oh, can we take us on a holiday somewhere?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, cool. Sun, sea, relaxation." And the doc's like, "Wait, are they all 4 perfect squares? Are they all like 6 perfect squares?" And like, "Don't put the last one on." And essentially, you put these vouchers together and it forms a teleport cube, which is kind of a neat idea. So they arrive. They're met by a cat lady called -3. Which we find out later it's the because I thought it was like literally hyphen, -3, but it's like no, it's like hyphens. The E is sort of later in the names, like before the N. So she's cute. She's got an awesome tail. She's not like the cat creatures from New Earth or New Earth, or I forgot how many news it was, but she's not like those Sylvanian type ones. She's a bit more tabby. But that's cool. So she's adorable, and the gang basically split up. Ryan's like, "Oh, I'm going to check out the the bar," and Gaz is like, "I'm going to go find the pool," and Graham's like, "I'm going to go over there, sit down for 3 hours, move, sit down some more, and then get some cocktails, all inclusive." There is a part where, because of the teleporting, the Doctor does say to Hyphen that she's concerned about being so far from her ship, and she said, "Don't worry, it's registered you. You'll be sent back exactly to where you were." So all right, fine. So everyone splits off and does their thing, and Doctor's like, I'll go explore my own then. So she's sort of looking around. We meet an adorable elder couple. I don't know how old they're supposed to be. They look like they're in their 60s. They actually say in their dialogue about having dated for 43 years without getting married, and the old boy Benny's like got a ring and he was about to propose, and then Yaz sort of comes up and sort of just says hi. She's, oh no, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, and Velma's like, no, you're fine, and Benny's like, oh, yeah, fine. But you know, he is quite older. He's got his oxygen tank. But they were adorable. Adorable old couple is adorable. We get into some action pretty much straight away with an attack. Initially because you see there's like a command center, and you've got the two main security management people. They've got like all the jobs. Where they've there is a security alert happening. It's like, oh, there's an issue, but don't worry, your staff was aware of it, and we're taking care of it. So please relax and tranquility. And so they you've got all that going on. Ryan catches a virus from a vending machine. Initially, he thinks he's been electrocuted, but it turns out it's like this worm-like virus called a. It'll come back to me, but it's like a worm thing. A hopper. There you go. And he's like, how can I get a virus from a vending machine? It's like, it's pan-dimensional. It's like it will affect whatever it can infect. And so she basically does the thing like, okay, so fortunately with humans, I know how this works. So first you got the wiggly fingers, and then your legs are gonna go, and she catches him, and then I'll get rid of these. So she basically empties out his crisps. And you want to sneeze. So she catches the worm bug, the hopper, in his crisp packet, and then basically, now go be calm, put your thumb in your mouth until until hallucinations stop, and don't worry, the bats aren't real. And he's like, so that was quite cute. So well done, Tosin, for actually just going with that. So he sort of gets himself into a corner. And meets a girl called Bella, who she looks kind of cool. She looks, if I were, a young man in a new place, I'd be chatting her up to probably. Yeah, she's that kind of person you'd expect a young man like Ryan to hit on, and that's fine. And she's like, "You're not good at this, are you?" Like, oh, So they kind of have a meet cute, and that's kind of cool. Meanwhile, they're like. Yeah, can everyone just like go to the muster points? Just everyone be safe, and like the doctor's like doing her thing, and she finds this like linen closet, like this is a lot of security for linen closet, and the hyphen's like, and she's like got the psychic paper, like, oh, I'm health and safety, pan-dimensional inspector, hotel inspector. That's the one. So she had to jig up the thing, and like. Cain, the female security lady, is like, oh, we've just had an inspection, so I can come anytime I want. Then you've got I can't remember what the male security guy is called. It's completely fallen out of my head. So for the sake of the joke, I'm just going to call him Abel. I can't remember what his actual name is. So yeah. The male security guy Abel is like chasing these things, and it's really good. This whole sequence is really good and atmospheric. Where you see all the monsters are in shadow, and you're not quite sure what they are. I mean, they're definitely humanoid because most things are, but it does it quite well in the sort of home invasion, haunted house type of thing, where you keep the creature in shadow as much as you can at the first, and you got like them creeping along, and there's saying please don't go into the steam room. It got the tenor, I was like, welcome to Tranquility Steam Room, please leave. But that's where Ryan and Bella end up running towards, because that's the direction they have to be going in, and they see someone else who's like, oh, I'm in trouble, and it's like, don't run, just hide. I think the steam might have been helping hide them a little, because they've got like trackers on all the guests. Basically, so the Doctor kind of gathers over. Graham meets maintenance guy who was I still don't know his name, but the in-betweeners guy with green hair. So he's Nevi, and his son Silas, and of course Silas is the brains of the operation. For a kid actor, they didn't give a huge amount to do, but he did it well with what he had. It was quite sweet. And I don't know if it's a species thing or just a fashion thing, but they both have green hair, so that's cool. We don't find out if they look pretty human. They don't have like ears or any kind of things on them to suggest they might be alien, but it's entirely possible they are. Like, aside from the hair, they look, they'd pass. In fact, if they would go to England in the 80s, they'd still pass, So they're the maintenance guys. You got the security people. The Doctor at one point, because you've got this like tracking system, like shows all the security and everyone. So you got like everyone's got each circle represents a guest. And how many guests are there? Oh, there's 23, 21, and basically it goes down to essentially just being the main named characters. So they get rid of all these like extra characters that we never even met. And so that's quite a tense scene. The Doctor manages to get the shielding back online because they realise, why does this holiday hotel complex need a shield? But then they realise, because there is an invading force. And basically, she set it to repel anything that isn't unauthorised guest. So you see, it just sort of this really kind of cool beam of light that just goes out and just picks off anything that isn't a guest. So you get a moment of calm from that. The Doctor sort of tantalised and said, "Hey, everyone here is not a drill." So basically, then she's like, "Okay, tell me what's going on." At one point, when they're all gathering up, Velma drops a hat, and Benny goes and catches it, and then of course, so Benny's now disappeared. So we have this moment of calm where we're like, "Okay, so we'll regroup and work out what's going on. Oh crap, we got to go do a rescue mission." So Cain takes them to the edge of the wall, where it turns out that that it's not just a hotel, but it's a hotel in a dome. It's like a vacation, which basically normally they do it in a city where you set up the dome with. And all I kept thinking was the Jim Carrey movie Truman Show, where it's like a big dome, and so Doctor, we put it in a city so you can people don't have to travel so far. It's actually as a concept, it's kind of neat. You set up a hotel, a resort area, in an area that wouldn't normally be sustainable, and teleport people in. And as we find out afterwards, the idea of doing it on an because originally from the title I thought Orphan 55 might be like one of the species, like they maybe accidentally kidnapped someone or something, and it isn't. Orphan 55 refers to a planet that is basically dead. The place is, for one reason or another, becomes uninhabitable. And I will say this before I get into the more deeper spoilers, that people keep saying it's Doctor Who's getting more political. I would always argue that Doctor Who's always been political. It's always had its political episodes. But even I was like, yeah, this one's political. This one's definitely political. They're talking about how, you can terraform the planet, bring it back to a habitable. I've never known if this is just a Star Trek term or an actual science term, but for the sake of clarity, I was saying to Class M status. Is Earth-like, suitable for human or humanoids, because like I said, we don't know they're all humans on the planet, but yeah, so it's you use the money from the hotel, from the guests, to terraform the planet, but of course by that point you're the main power on the planet, so you become queen of the world, which as schemes go, but the Doctor's saying about how orphan planets happen is the disaster happens and you have a ruling elite class that can evacuate, and then the dregs, the alien species, the invaders that we're dealing with in this episode, Which when we see their full design, it's really cool. They're big and bulky, and they look a little bit. Okay, I know I'm invoking lava monsters, which is not one of the best episodes ever. But the right at the beginning, the Hoiks, the alien species at the beginning, they look like a more aggressive version of them, like more toothy, like bigger craniums. So design wise, they're really cool. But yeah, so they're referred to as the dregs because they're the dregs of the society that was there before the disaster. And like normally that kind of planet-wide disaster, you wouldn't have any survivors, which is why the plan to then sort of take it over and terraform it. As long as enough radiation's gone. Yeah, like I said, this is a sci-fi show, and it's set way into the future, and it's like you don't know what technologies the other planets have, so terraforming is a thing. So they go out in a armored vehicle basically to try and find Benny, and it's established that the only oxygen is within the dome, but they've got these like basically nose straps with these oxygen tanks on their arms, so it's like, I guess it's to make it easier. So it's like green is good, amber's, you start wiring, red you're basically dead unless you can get a refill straight away, and you can't necessarily get a refill straight away because we're going to be out in the wild where there is no oxygen. And Graham's really sort of bonded with Silas at this point, and like, so he's going to Nevi. He's like, "Is this thing? Is this my nose thing and this arm thing? Is this all good?" He goes, "Yeah, you're fine." And Silas is like, "No, it's not, Dad. Come on." He fixes Graham's arm for him, and he's saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna get in the truck." Nevi's like, "We're gonna get in the truck now. Don't worry, I built it." And then Graham pulls Silas like, "Tell me you helped build it." Oh, what was the doctor's funny line? She had a really funny line earlier in the episode. I thought, I'm gonna have to remember that, and it's gone. So yeah, then they're going out. The doctor realizes that they're apex. These things have survived a nuclear winter essentially, and are, if you survive in that, you deserve the planet, because they managed to find Benny on the tracker, but they realise, essentially he's in a nest, so that's like, oh, we should stop. And this is where you get the conversations about what an orphan planet is. In between Ryan and Bella flirting a bit more, and Yaz sort of like, because the doctor comes like, because they're both in a seat, like, so you got a seat, and then like the one in the middle is empty. And the doctor comes to sit down in between and says, "Oh, what are we talking about?" "Oh, just talking, just talking." And he's like, "Yeah, right, what are you talking about?" Sort of, being all, So that was kind of a cute moment with everyone, sort of everyone having a character moment. So yeah, Cain and Abel, they sort of take the lead. There's a bit of a run around where they try and go out, then they realize they're going to be surrounded, so they come back in. They get trapped. So the truck is dead in the water, basically. So there's a bit of back and forth, a bit of running around, trying not to get killed. Abel does get killed. We do hear Benny's voice when they're surrounded, and it confirms on the pad that he's there. And he's like, Velma, are you there? I have two things to ask you, and I'm sorry to ask you all at the same time. Will you marry me? Yes, of course I'll marry you. Good. If you get the chance, will you kill me? He's like, what have you done to my Velma? What have you done to my Benny? And she's really upset. At one point she actually bribes Cain to keep, because she's got this jewelry, and she uses it to pay for her, basically the rescue mission. Bella's quite spiky towards Cain about this point as well. Like, yeah, go on, I'll buy loads of terraforming stuff. So yeah, they're like, okay, we need to like they try and get to the tunnel. There's a hatch, so they got to go to the tunnel. At one point, Cain's trying to fight everything off, and she gets injured, like thrown basically by these dregs, and she's like, "Oh, don't worry, just leave me." Like, no, we need you. This planet that you need to thing. So they all basically, the dregs are surrounding the tank before then, so they send Silas out and everyone. So everyone's traveling together as a group. They find the shaft the thing they get underground. The doctor's oxygen at some point gets a little thinner, and Kate makes a joke saying, "You talk too much. You're using up all your oxygen." And even at one point, Yaz asks her a question, and she's like, which is quite funny actually. So 1 second. So we're in these tunnel system, which kind of looks like any kind of underground, maintenance tunnels and everything. And this is where we're going to definitely get into spoilers. So if you've liked what you've heard so far and it intrigues you and you want to know what's going to happen next, then yeah, go check it out. It's a good episode. Again, well acted. Enjoyable performances. The guest actors were all good. I would say that the guest actors didn't all necessarily have much to work with. It was quite a big cast, even though it got killed off quite quickly. Like we only have a handful of survivors out of the handful of people. Like we have 2 handfuls of people that are our main characters, and then basically by the end of it we have a handful of characters left. But yeah, I would say everything was pretty good. Like I said, even the kid was good with what he was given to do. So yeah, check it out if you haven't already. I will say yes, there was some politics in there that even I was like, oh, the hand is quite heavy on that one, but that doesn't necessarily distract from it being an enjoyable adventure episode. So into more spoilery actually stuff. And this is something I kind of predicted in my head, but I wasn't sure when basically the doctor was talking about, what makes an orphan planet. And with apologies, I am going to have to do this reveal in song. Oh my gosh, I was wrong. It was Earth all along. Yeah, the tunnels are in is a Siberian service tunnel, because you see some Cyrillic on the wall. Well, the doctor sees it first, and she's like, "Dad, don't worry about it." And it's like, no, what is it? And like, okay, so yeah. Oh, there was a point before then where they're in the tunnels. They first come into the tunnels, and Bella asks Cain. She takes the gun and says, "Where's the maintenance teleport?" And he says, "Oh, it's behind you." And it basically turns out that Cain is Bella's mum. Has lost, because in the conversation she and Ryan were having, they're basically saying about having both lost parents. But that she was unemployed for a month because she was her father's carer. So obviously he died a month ago, which is sad. That is quite sad. Yeah. So basically, she's at Tranquility to essentially burn the place down because she's angry at her mum. It turns out that Cain was doing it for her to give her the planet. That Bella should be queen of the world, and the doctor's like, well, maybe you could have told her that. Let her know that you cared and you were doing it all for her. So yeah, it's Earth, which I kind of predicted, because why wouldn't it be? We do kind of get a reason. This is again where it gets kind of heavy-handed. At one point she does her mail trick with one of the sleeping aliens, or sleeping drag. Oh, superhumans. I don't know. They're the dregs, the advanced people, and there is like kind of like a sizzle reel of like wars and explosions and a nuclear bomb going off. But given the fact from several episodes, even going back to the classic series, where there's been global disasters and humanity has gone into the stars, the fact that Earth is a dead planet at one point is, it's kind of, it's a thing that's always been there. Now, I've just realised as I'm saying that there's possible continuity error with End of the World, maybe, because, or possibly not, because so the Earth is a dirt ball, post-nuclear dirt ball, which has really been hinted at throughout, like I said, through classic and modern era, that at some point humans leave the planet and we go, elsewhere. The second Matt Smith episode with the space whale, that was, basically the planet was on fire. They even said that. That's why the whale Space Whale picked them all up. Sorry, I wish I could remember the name of the episode because it's a really good one, actually. I quite enjoyed it. But yeah, that's basically saying, yeah, humanity left the planet because of reasons. So as an audience member, for us, it's like, well, yeah, because this is, we never know when this episode is set, just that it's in Earth's future, and the fact is Earth's future has been established as being kind of crappy, but like several hundred years, like as Nine says at the end of the thing, you're always worried about this and that, and worrying you never think of the possibility that it survives. Now 13's message at the end might be slightly contradictory to that, but she's going on like updated information. But again, we don't know when all this full nuclear war happens, and there's allusions to climate change. We don't know when this all takes place in our timeline, like from here to then. So the fact that it is Earth didn't surprise me, but also as a viewer, it's like, yeah, well, we don't know when we are, and the Earth has been established as being uninhabitable for a long time at various points in the series. So that didn't surprise me. The possible continuity error with End of the World, basically, to cut to the end, Bella does end up buying the hotel. So that particular project for Tranquility, for the terraforming, from that point of view, maybe it happened, like maybe someone else came along and sort of gave it a go, maybe it didn't. Although it does pay to the idea that the Doctor said that everyone got off the planet, like all the humans left, there's no one left on the planet. Maybe by the time we do get to the end of the world, the dregs had been evacuated, but then why wouldn't 13 known about that? I don't... If 9 knew that the planet had been evacuated and 13's finding out now that there was other people, does that mean 9 was misinformed? Or that their information, it just... Did the dregs get off planet at some point? Because at the end, so they... I'm just going to wrap this all up quickly now, because basically once they get back to the dome, it's just a matter of time to, work out how to get themselves safe. The Doctor nicknames the leader Wheezy. She does discover in the cave that they breathe out oxygen. So basically goes red, and she stands next to one of them that's sleeping, because they're established as being sleeping up, standing up. So that's when she starts sort of investigating a little bit, and that's when she does the mind meld thing. But he basically breathes out oxygen, so he basically refills her tank, which is kind of neat. So there is a moment in the security area where she puts herself and Bella in a cage and basically entices one of them in. And she's like, why are we in the cage? She basically talks to him like, I know you're intelligent. I'm sorry this has happened, but we've got a perfect environment right now. You're breathing out the stuff that we need. We're breathing out the stuff that you need. If you kill us, you're dead. So they basically switch out. So they put the dreg in the cage, and they basically leg it. Ryan and Yaz have a moment trying to sort of fight. So everyone's basically fighting for survival. There is a moment between Nevi and Silas earlier on where they were like to Nevi, can you fix this? You have to do this. And he's like, I don't know how, I can't. And like Silas is like, oh, it's easy, you can do it, just do this. He's like, you're always in my way. He's like, you never listen to me. So we have a point where Silas walks out and has a bit of a preteen pout, which is fair enough. It's like his dad isn't appreciating him. He does seem to know what he's doing. But they reconcile. They work out how to basically get the teleports back online, and do that. So yeah, they send Silas and Nevi off first. They're like, oh, I've set the transport. You go off safely. If you're wondering about Hyphen, yes, sadly, she was one of the people in this hand. Velma sacrifices herself because they're like, we need to run faster, but Velma can't. So she basically says, for Betty, basically, she goes out in a blaze, which is cool. Like I said, awesome. Old people are awesome. So yeah, that's kind of really it. They get off planet. And Yaz is like, oh, when did you know? When did you know it was Earth? And it's like, just moments before you did. And I believe her. I don't know if she at some point would have suspected. I don't know if she knew. I'll put this down now. I don't know if she knew that Orphan 55, the planet designation, was Earth. She makes a point about, like, there are lots of orphan planets for one reason or another, environmental usually, where they have become uninhabitable, and this is number 55. So whether or not she has a list somewhere in her head or in her data banks that has which planet is which, we don't know. But when she did look genuinely surprised when she saw it was, they were in Russia. So, I believe that she didn't work it out straight away, because there was a lot going on. There's a lot going on. She had to think about it. At one point when she's trying to rescue Silas, after he's run away, she's like, oh, I've got a plan. Well, 3/4 of a plan. Well, I've got a pee, but that's all right. It usually works out. But yeah, so Bella essentially sacrifices herself because the teleport was overloaded. So yeah, Nevi and Silas go off. Then the gang go off. That's basically it. We don't know what happened. We know the hotel blows up because they used the bomb, like Bella's bomb, because they didn't know how to turn it off. So they just put it in front of a cluster of dregs. But yeah, it basically ends with the Doctor explaining why the Earth is a dirt ball, but it's saying about climate change and stuff, and we didn't pay attention. But it'll get better. That this isn't written yet. People can still change. But like I said, ultimately the Earth will be abandoned. The Earth will be through nuclear war, through environmental disaster. She makes a point about the food chain being disrupted, and that's possibly how the dregs evolved to where they are. But so it is kind of, like I said, there is politics in there, but I didn't really mind because it's a message I can get behind. So yeah, if you can ignore, I don't think you even have to ignore the politics. It's just, for me, it was more obvious than normal. But yeah, honestly, it was a good, putting the politics aside, it was a good romp. I thought the whole thing would be like a haunted house and house invasion type thing, where they're kind of, running around the centre trying not to get killed. But no, it's like it was outside, and it was a bit more of a where are we, why are we, all this kind of stuff. I thought it was really good. Like I said, it was well performed. So yeah, I did, separate to everything else, separate to this episode, I did have a further thought about O, the Master, and if O is pre-Missy, that means that Missy, at the very least, it's hard to say what Sim Master knew, but Missy at the very least knew that the Doctor was going to be female, and obviously never said anything. And I find that an interesting premise. If O is pre-Missy, then Missy knows, the whole time she's hanging out with 12, and that's kind of fun. That's an interesting thing to think about. But yes, good episode. I enjoyed it. Yeah, like I said, I probably won't do this live again. Let's say hit 1,000 subscribers, and I can actually start doing them live from my phone, because I found it very awkward on the laptop. I was way more self-conscious. OBS was working. I did listen to it back. Also, it seems to take forever to fully render and be uploaded, and this doing it from here seems quicker as well. So yeah, I'm going to keep pre-recording unless I can do it live on a better setup. But yeah, that's pretty much all my thoughts. Like I said, there were some good lines, but I can't remember them all. Some good characters. It does suffer from the fact, which is common with these one-part episodes, we introduce a lot of characters, is we don't get to spend a huge amount of time with each character to get to know them a bit better and to become more attached to them. So they I don't want to say they become caricatures, because I don't think anyone's really a caricature, but they are character traits. They become their traits. But again, they're not bad thing. Nobody was portrayed bad. I mean, Cain towards the end was portrayed badly because she seems to be a neglectful mother, and obviously Bella was well, essentially a terrorist. So that's, again, it's going to be colour her character. But when we meet everyone, they're just sort of there. Like I said, Cain and Abel are fairly confident at their job. They're just in a bad situation, and everyone else is just lovely. They're all lovely people. So yes, Orphan 55. Please share your thoughts and ideas and reviews and stuff. I do like talking to you all, or hearing from you all. That is very nice. And I will do the whole, please, the algorithm thing. Like, share, subscribe. Hit the like buttons. Hit the bell icon. Especially I'm going to be doing this the whole Doctor Who. Hopefully, be more movies. There's going to be more unboxings. So I got a bit of everything going on here right now. It is. If the reason you haven't subscribed to my channel because it's very rough and ready, then fair enough. But this is kind of what I do. I don't know how to. Okay, how about this? If I get a certain number of subscribers, I will learn how to edit and do things more fancy. But at the moment, I'm liking doing it quick and dirty, and I've only got like 84 subscribers. So if I hit big numbers, then we could see an up in production. Okay, I'm definitely getting into waffle mode now, so I am gonna say thank you for watching, especially if you've gotten to this part. You're awesome. I appreciate you. I've been Michelle. You've been listening, and I will see you next time. Bye!